Hola y bienvenidos a Español 2. Hi, welcome to Spanish 2, and we're going to go over the top 100 verbs that you should know from Spanish 1 while we begin Spanish 2 in the review session. So these are 100 verbs, and we've split them into two groups, and I'm going to go through and tell you not only the ways that kids have told me, like little jokes they can use to remember the verbs by, but also the Latin root families that look like cognates that help you remember these. So here we go. The first one is abrir, to open. So this looks like abril in Spanish, which is April, what happens in April? All of the buds and the blooms and the grass and the plants start opening. So abril, kind of April, looks like abrir, to open. So that's where that comes from, abrir. Acampar, to camp. You can see that there. Almorzar, you can remember this because people always want more lunch. That's why they buy double lunches. Andar en patineta. Andar en patineta. So this is to skateboard. So you'll see that we use andar for other verbs. So this is one that you're just going to memorize. Aprender, aprender, to learn. Asistir, asistir, to attend. You'll notice at the beginning of each class, we talk about taking asistencia. And that's why I always put that game to play while I'm taking asistencia. So this means to attend. Bailar, bailar looks like ballet. So it means to dance. Beber, beber, to drink. What do babies do? That's actually how you spell baby in Spanish, B-E-B-E. They drink. So, and cry. But let's remember it as to drink, beber. Bucear, bucear. And so this is to snorkel or scuba dive. Buscar, buscar. So we are, everybody's looking for a bus or a car at 3:30. So you can remember you're looking for buscar. So you're looking for a bus or a car. Buscar, to look for. Caminar, caminar, to walk. You can remember that camels walk through the desert for a long time. And we always do that sign in class, caminar, because camels are walking for a long time through the desert without water. Cantar, cantar. Remember we talked about how people are always saying at karaoke, I can't sing. But they do anyway. So, and a lot of people will tell you, oh, I can't sing. That's why we use the cantar. It looks like can't, but it's pronounced cantar. Cenar, cenar, to eat dinner. Cerrar, cerrar, to close. Comenzar, comenzar, to begin. You will, if you've been to a graduation ceremony, you know they have a commencement speaker, which doesn't talk about the end of your high school years. They talk about the beginning of your new life. So commence means to begin. I might ask you, what time does school commence? 8:30. What time does the wedding commence? Maybe it's an afternoon wedding at 2. So when I say commence, you know it means to start. Comenzar. Comer, to eat. Compartir, compartir. Okay, so this Latin root here with part means to split. Like I parted my hair right here, so I've split it with both sides of my head. And so the like company, right? Or co-worker, so that's you're working with somebody. So look, if you are splitting with somebody, then you are sharing, right? So compartir means to share. Comprar, comprar, that means to buy. You can remember because you always compare things, you always compare prices before you buy them, especially like houses and cars. Comprender, comprender, to comprehend or understand. Confirmar, confirmar means to confirm. If you don't know what that means in English, it means like when you send me a text on Remind saying, I'm just confirming that I will be there in the morning before school for tutoring. So you're saying yes and I'm saying yes and we both agree that that's going to happen. That's confirming. conseguir, conseguir. So this means to get or obtain. So contar, contar looks like you're counting something like an accountant. And so that means to count, contar. All right, how does it mean to tell? So if we all saw the same accident on the side of the road and the policeman came by and he said, hey, can you recount what happened? So he would be asking us to tell him the story. Or can you give an accounting of what you saw? So you're really telling a story. And what accountants do? They tell the story of a business. Contestar, contestar. So if you want to be a contestant on The Price is Right or Family Feud, you would be answering questions. So contestar, a contestant would answer questions. Also, you can remember this because people answer questions on tests. Conversar, conversar, this is to converse, like talk. Correr, correr, this is to run. It kind of looks like career. So creer, creer, to believe. Deber, deber, that means should or to ought to. There's a difference between should and to ought to. On the test, I prefer that you put to ought to. I'll show you later why that they don't really have should as we do in Spanish because grammatically it doesn't work out that way. But not to worry, just remember should to ought to. Decidir, decidir, to decide. Decir, decir, to tell. So this word turns into como se dice? How do you say? Como se dice? D-I-C-E when you conjugate it, which has the same words as dictionary, dictator, dictate. I have very good diction, people tell me. So what does that all mean? Like the dictionary has the words you can tell. I have really good diction because it doesn't sound like I'm from anywhere. No one can guess because I don't have such an accent that a lot of people do. So a dictator will tell you what to do. So you see kind of the same letters in there. Desayunar, desayunar. So you can see the una in there because it's the first thing you eat because it's breakfast, to eat breakfast. Descansar, descansar. You can remember this because you know the word cansado means tired. So descansar means to rest. Describir, describir, to describe. Desear, desear, to desire. Dibujar, dibujar, to draw. Dormir, dormir, to sleep, which means maybe you're dormant in a dorm room, like a dormitory, and that's why you see the dormir. Empezar, to start. Encontrar, encontrar, to encounter, which means to find. Enseñar, enseñar. Now, this is a joke people say, but I must be insane to still love teaching after all these years. Enseñar, so what does it mean? To teach. Entender, entender, to understand. Escalar, escalar, to climb up. So this would be like to scale a mountain. What word does this remind you of in English? Escalator, because you're climbing up to the second floor of the mall. So escribir, escribir, this has the word scrib in it, which is like scribble and prescription and scripture and script like the drama teacher gives you. So it means to write because the doctor would write you a prescription. Escuchar, escuchar, to listen. So you'll notice this, you can remember this because if somebody's like, excuse me, they're trying to listen. Escuchar. Esperar, esperar, to wait. If you know anybody named Esperanza, I think there's like a Disney character like that. Esperanza means hope. And so this really means to hope or to wait. So if you think about it, if you're like hoping for the bus or you're waiting for the bus, you're hoping it comes. It's coming soon, right? Everybody's hoping and waiting. Esquiar, esquiar, to ski. Estar, estar, this is to be temporary. And we'll talk about that later, what being temporary and being permanent is like. So these are things that change like the wind. Like tomorrow, it's probably not going to be that way. Estudiar, estudiar, to study. Explicar, explicar, to explain. Ganar, ganar, to win or to gain or to earn. So you can see the word gain in there, yes? So if you're winning something like the lottery, then you're gaining some money. Or you're gaining a prize, like if you win bingo in class. Gustar, gustar, to be pleasing to. Some people call this to like. We'll get into that later. Don't worry about it. Okay, so here we have the first half of the verbs. Adios.